I think something came out like a couple hours ago that said something about him like getting Warner Bros to work with WWE just
Yeah.
because he's very over, obviously, with other networks. So I feel like the story with Punk is just seeing like what does he do in WWE? How is he treated in WWE? Is he going to act up? A lot of people are expecting him to act up and act out because now we got this warped image of him. Um, and
Mm.
I think the excitement is not so much Royal Rumble, but what they do at Mania, because last year we were all hyped for Cody. We all thought just because he won the Royal Rumble that, oh yeah, he's definitely like dethroning Roman. And then lo and behold, we got disappointed. So we don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's the really exciting part. We don't
Mhm.
know.
Mm.
And it's coming at us left field. So I don't know, that's just my take on it. I'm not
Mhm.
sure if you guys feel any different. You want to add something to it?
So, hey everyone, we were just chatting in the background about what's going on in WWE. You are now watching We Love Wrestling because I love wrestling and you love wrestling and everybody else here loves wrestling. So join us today. We're going to be talking about CM Punk returning to the WWE and what does that mean for the future of pro wrestling, for the future of WWE. Is he going to be the face of WWE, which is, I think, one of his long term life goals? He wanted to be that guy, and so many obstacles came his way, and he was told that he could never be that guy. Which is really crazy if you think about it. But I have some special guests with me today. We have the beautiful Monique, who is host of the podcast Culture 360.
Hi,
With
everyone.
Jordan. Shout out to Jordan.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. Like, honestly, y'all, we were trying to get this to happen for like a year now.
Yeah,
Blame me
absolutely.
for it. But like, I was like, nah, like me and her, like we had to. Like, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about some CM Punk news with you guys. So, thank you for having me on.
Awesome. And we have internationally renowned rapper from Pakistan, OCL. Guys, check out his music. He does
I
rap
got
in
to rap.
English
I got to
too.
rap.
He's rapping the Roman Reigns t-shirt, which is amazing that you can even get stuff. Mind my ignorance. My first question was that, can you even get WWE t-shirts in Pakistan? Which is mind-blowing to think that WWE has such a huge audience and is an international, and people love it from Pakistan all the way to Nigeria
For
to
sure, for sure.
everywhere, and it's amazing. So yeah, today we're talking about CM Punk. As I mentioned, we got Trey in the building. You guys know who Trey is already, so I guess there is no need for an introduction. But yeah, let's get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about CM Punk. The, do we call CM Punk one of the greatest indie stars prior to WWE of all time? Because a lot of people crown him as king of the indies. You know, he was that guy before he hit TV, before he was, this mainstream TV guy. He was traveling the entire USA. Started wrestling at 15 years. Is it 15 or 16 years old? And kind of like worked his way up the long way, which is really impressive. And I kind of like compare his career to kind of like a musician who starts off like indie, trying to make it to a big label and has all these obstacles, and then one day he's like, like Jay-Z. But we're not comparing CM Punk to Jay-Z though, by the way. So I just wanted to get your thoughts about that. Like, did you follow his career prior to him signing with ECW and WWE?
So
Go ahead. Go
you,
ahead.
you want to
No, go ahead.
you want to go? I
No,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, so my thing with Punk was like, I personally like did, it's very subjective with wrestlers and in general with preference. Um, I never like I didn't like him like that because my thing with wrestlers and wrestling was more like, sort of the over the top personalities and the more like superhero esque sort of characters and look and built and all that, right? So with Punk, I think the I started clicking with him was right around the Nexus time. He was there. I was seeing him. He became ECW champion and all that, but didn't really because, of course, I'm talking about the time where social media and the whole the ICW and or sorry the IWC wasn't that big of a thing. But now what we see is we get all this information. Like we're constantly getting this daily sort of regurgitation of, oh, these guys were big here, and then this is going on this league, and this is in this state and that. So my thing with Punk was I started digging him more, like when he finally started getting on the mic, and then he formed a little thing with I'm forgetting his name with the little goatee. Was it Luke? I think it was Luke something. His name was, and the girl he shaved off her head. I don't know if you guys remember that when he shaved off a fan's head on live TV.
Was that when he was
That's
doing
when
like the whole straight edge thing?
yeah, the straight edge there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Serena
And that's
Deeb.
when I was like, yo, this is interesting. I was like, what's with this guy? So I mean, for me, I didn't, and then I read into him, and then I find out me and him have the same birthday, so I kind of gave him that bias. I was like, all right. So I started getting more into him, and once I saw him like get more on the mic, for me that's when it started clicking.
Whoa, wait. Your birthday, October 26th?
Yeah.
Shout out to the birthday twins in the building.
Yeah.
That's my birthday.
you too?
Also.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
Scorpio.
That's amazing.
Scorpio season.
I don't know how I feel about Punk. That's all I gotta say. I don't know how I feel about him. He is a B-Day twin. Every time we do a meet and greet, we talk, we go back and forth. If it's chaos is controlled, I'm with it. If it's not, his Ring of Honor stuff is cool. OVW, I didn't watch none of that. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel right now. I just want to see what comes out of it. So that's all I got to say.
For me, I didn't see Punk at his height because by then I wasn't really watching wrestling. I actually had to play catch up because I took a major break. So that whole height that he had with him crossing over with AJ Lee and stuff like that, I actually missed that era, so I wasn't able to experience it in real time with everyone else. But I caught on afterward, and I understand why everyone likes him. Me personally, I feel like he's great as a sports entertainer. There's not one CM Punk match I could ever say I went back to rewatch because I think he's very mid in the ring.
Ooh, Money in the Bank though, Chicago.
That's the crowd though. I believe that's because of the crowd. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's the energy that he brings in. I think he has a likable in-ring personality. I mean, he comes off like a regular guy and he's outspoken. People love outspoken people. So I like him as a worker. Well, I like when he turns the mic on. I hate the bullshit he pulls backstage. So I have a love-hate relationship with him where I see the business in him and where I would never have hesitated to sign him, whether it was AEW or WWE. But he's not one of my favorites at all. But I feel like WWE has been so boring lately for me that to have the controversy there, especially knowing that everyone hates him between the higher ups and the people below, it kind of to me makes it more exciting because when I hear them talking shit on the mic, now I kind of believe it. And when's the last time you felt like you had a feud where it was realistic, you didn't know, because they were blurring through the lines? It's did they give them permission to say that? Was this written for them? Did they just go out and just let it all out? That's what I love about it. So it's entertaining for me.
So what's really interesting is that going back to when he was signed by WWE the first time, they had signed him, but they had no interest in putting him on TV, which is crazy because he was the king of the indies at the time and he had gained so much traction. And I don't know if they signed him because he was kind of taking a lot of eyes from their big stars and thought, okay, let's just sign him and kind of just keep him in OVW and he's just going to be over there and not do anything. And then eventually we'll drop him, which is kind of a very political way to do things and kind of very WWE, but they had no interest to put him on TV. And Paul Heyman kept on fighting for him, saying, you got to get this guy on TV. He's amazing. And they were they didn't see anything in him. they saw that the hype around him, but they kind of see him as like overrated in the ring. It's like there's so much hype around him being like this larger than life character, but when you see him wrestle, he's not like the greatest wrestler you've ever seen of all time, which is the paradox, you know. Um, so I wonder now again, will this happen? Have they signed him? And then long term, do they really have any plans for him? You know, or is this just they're signing him because they don't want him to be over there because he's a phenomenon and people do talk about him a lot. And so are they signing him because, you know, it's but keep your enemies close? I'm not saying that he's a big threat to them, but like just kind of like keep him in there. But do they have a long-term story planned for him, which is going to be interesting to see played out?
So I have a question for y'all because I would love to know this. What do you guys like classify? Because Monique said this, and even Sophia, you kind of shadowed that. What do you classify as a great wrestler? Like the flippity floppity and the aerobatics, or like just the technical stuff? Like we're talking Hitman, you know, that Shawn Michaels, like that type. Like what is your classification of a great wrestler, or like good wrestling ability, or like sort of, you know, in that way?
For me, it's in-ring psychology always. Because when
Mm.
I go back to watching matches from when I was a kid, the moves made sense. Like what pisses me off about watching AEW, bro, is that like they'll do all these amazing big moves and then someone will spring up like 5 seconds later, like nothing happened. And that just pisses me off because it's just like work on a body, work on an injury, tell a story within the ring, and mix it in with a bit of the promos that's going on. Like make it all tie together. Don't just go out there and just stunt after stunt after stunt, because as a wrestling fan, at some point, all that stimulation and no storytelling, like, and just waiting to the end, I lose interest. I lose interest, and I had to like find it towards the end. So if you know how to master in-ring psychology and you utilize what's, you know, works for you, your body type, whatever. If you're a big man, do the big man moves. You know, if you're a cruiserweight man, do the cruiserweight moves. You know, Rey Mysterio did his thing. Make it make sense, and that's all I ask about. Ask
So
for.
you think you don't think Punk is a good storyteller in the ring? Is that what you're saying?
He just bores the shit out of me.
Really?
Yes, he does. When he turns on the mic, I'm all ears because it's like, all right, talk that shit. But in the ring, he's just like, I
Because
wait. I,
I would have to respectfully disagree because okay, unpopular opinion, Austin wasn't the greatest wrestler, right?
he was fun
But
as hell.
he was fun, and the in-ring storytelling, the trash talk, and you know, like everything you just pointed out. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Punk, and again, this is just me. Punk is somewhat of a like far removed, of course, not as, but like I would say not as charismatic as maybe Austin was for me. But he's got the same rough and street style sort of, you know, that bar fighting sort of style. Again, that's just me.
It's
And I feel like,
perception.
yeah, true. And I feel like that's what made him more relatable to the general audience because, like, a common blue collared, everyday sort of wrestling fan can look at Punk and be like, oh, yeah, that guy's me. Like, he's talking shit to his boy, da 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 da, he's doing this, right? But then when they see somebody like a Roman or when they see somebody like an Undertaker, they can't really relate to these guys because these guys have larger than life personas. So I feel like that's what makes Punk as like popular and as insane and big of a phenomena as he is, like that relatability factor. You know, he just looks like a regular dude who's like crazy with the mic skills, but
Might
then you
I
know,
ask, did you feel the same way when he was in AEW and you watched him next to a bunch of other regular looking people?
I did, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of tuned out because I feel like AEW just got very cluttered and they don't know how to run stories because you got to entertain, right?
Hmm.
Eventually, like when he came in, I'm all because shit again, like it was huge. Like he came in, it was
Yeah.
good, and you're thinking Punk MJF, it's gonna happen because like MJF is their biggest cash cow right now, right? And they were building up to that, but they got to that too quick. Yeah, again, that's just me. Like they blew their
That's
load
fair.
on that too quick. Like just like they're doing now with Seth, they're slowly building it up. You know, they're getting there slowly and slowly. So I mean, like I guess you know, in this day and age of the real culture and the TikTok culture, people don't have general patience to wait to sort of like the payoff to be that good. like how we had with like a Daniel Bryan or with some. That's why people even hated on Roman in the beginning. But I don't know. I don't know. For me, Punk, I feel like on a relatable level, I'm like, oh, I'm like, yeah, like I could see myself scrapping like that, with something. I'm not saying I do that, but I'm just saying like
About to say.
the way, yeah, the way he kind of goes at it, it's very sort of relatable in that sense.
Okay.
Do
What do
you
you?
think? Sorry, go on. I was just going to say because Paul Heyman was his biggest advocate when he was in the performance center, and also because he was kind of like established wrestler in the indies. It's not like he had to start from scratch. They put him in the performance center when he's already he was good on the indies. And the thing is, I've been watching a lot of his indie matches. And he was doing some crazy shit. He was doing AEW type of stuff in the indies. He was pretty hardcore and he was straight edge. He was like this punk rock kid with a tongue piercing and looked like he should be in like some E1 instead of being a wrestler. And I think during the time, like Blink 182, all those bands are super popular. So people kind of were drawn to Blink 182 and Sum 41, and then kind of he was like the answer to that in wrestling. He wasn't like this big guy. He was pretty small, like kind of skinny, wasn't like ripped. You know what I mean? With the piercings, it just black hair, which is very different to him now, But had he not have Paul Heyman like saying this is the guy? And I remember actually watching a roundtable as well with Roddy Piper, Stone Cold. I can't remember who else was on it. It was like 4 people, and Roddy Piper was saying, "You got to watch this kid. He's going to be the biggest thing. He's going to be the biggest thing." Had he not had these people with great presence in pro wrestling advocate for him, would anyone even care? Because WWE, the officials weren't interested at all in putting him on TV. They were just like not seeing any direction to where they could book him. And if he didn't have Paul Heyman and he didn't have Roddy Piper and these guys talking great about him, would he have ever made it on TV? Like he had to crawl basically to even get on ECW. They they don't want to get him on TV, which is crazy, right? But they just didn't see it. Like they were so used to their type of statuesque guy, and they just couldn't see putting someone like Punk on TV. Although they signed him, which is weird. Why would you sign somebody if you didn't see any future in them? So my question is, if he didn't have Paul Heyman backing him, do you think that he would be this brand household name? Would anyone even care?
And it's for the CM Punk fan over here to answer.
Oh, me?
yeah, go for it.
honestly, I see what you're saying, and I mean, there's a reason, right? Why all these guys? Because I think Paul Heyman is very in tune with what's hot, or what the overall general trending culture is. So maybe with that, that's what he saw with this guy, because Vince McMahon has that one type, right? He loves the muscles and the steroids and like the superhero looking dudes, right? So Punk was anti that. Like, I mean, again, up for unpopular opinion, but Daniel Bryan, very relatable, but like he wasn't the most charismatic dude. Like, let's be real. Like, yeah, we were all buying into the story, the underdog and this and that. But like somebody like a Daniel Bryan beating, guys like Orton, Batista, Triple H all on the same night. That's not very, believable and all that. But what I think with Punk was he was very anti-establishment. And I don't think that was probably on the tail end of that whole rock punk sort of that rise up, that era, and even like I think hip hop and rap was a huge part of that too. But I think that's what probably Paul saw, that this guy, like he had because again, I mean, for me, again, personally subjective, I need some charisma, man. That's why like modern day wrestling, there's so many dudes in WWE like Finn Balor, right? I just gotta go off the rails here. Finn Balor, I love the guy. Like I feel like he's legit. But dude is like, he has the personality of a paperclip, man. Or like at least that's what they kind of made him out to be. Like I was in for the demon stuff and all that, but then like you see him get on the mic and he just says some corny shit, and you're like, like, what do you want me to do with that? So with Punk, I think because of the look, the tats, the feel, and then of course initially with the whole straight edge thing, straight edge I think like wasn't probably his biggest sell as much as like the pipe bomb, or like the buzzword pipe bomb, right? So I think that's more him. Like he's essentially Deadpool. Like he's breaking the fourth wall, or is he not breaking the fourth wall? Like what's going on? Like what we don't know, right? I think Monique was saying that like you get confused. Like is this written? But clearly, of course, it's allowed, because like they wouldn't allow him to just get on the mic and just like talk shit about the boss like that. So I think it would have happened because his ascend was very organic and slow. It wasn't like right off the bat. Like it took him a hot minute to like get up there and like kind of make his way up. So I think he would be. I think he would have gotten over eventually if given like moved around the right way.
Uh,
Oh, that was
I,
nice.
I I have to agree only because when was it like that? I was looking it up. That Survivor Series 2006, where he was teamed with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the Hardy Boys, and the crowd was like, you could hear them chanting CM Punk. So at the time, I remember the indie scene. Like even if the E wouldn't have signed him, I don't know if he would be as big as he was, but he would still have a buzz because he was already buzzing on the independent scene, and people knew about him. And hate to say it, Chicago, uh, they make sure that their people are known about and get chanted. And a lot of his times, on WWE TV, where he gets the biggest pops is in Chicago.
Mhm.
So,
100%.
even if they try to like hold it back, no matter what will happen, it was coming. Like the WrestleMania 22 that was in Chicago, we was there. CM Punk was just one of the extras on the car during John Cena's entrance. But the people in the crowd, they knew who CM Punk was before he was even signed. So he would have he would have made some type of noise, but I don't think it would have been as loud as like WWE come get you because they amplify everything. So he will be there, but not as big as he is.
How about you, Monique?
I feel like CM Punk works because WWE is more entertainment than anything, and I feel like similar to what the both of you guys said. Yes, if you have a big personality that you can amplify and it resonates with the fans, that's the biggest thing that fans are looking for, a connection to the talent. Then you're going to succeed. They actually don't really mind as much if your in ring ability isn't there. I mean, look at Alexa Bliss. I can't stand her, but I have to give credit where it's due. She gets the assignment. The assignment is go out there and entertain. Like she don't know the difference between like a headlock from a wrist lock, but she will go out there. She'll talk. She'll sell with her faces. And she'll sell her ass off. And I feel like if you could check off those boxes plus the look, and from what I'm so sorry about your name. I'm so bad at names. But for what you had said about the appearance, if you have an appearance that again is something that a fan can relate to, they're gonna just go with it. So I feel like he was great for his time. He works now too because we kind of live in like an outrage culture, and that's still something that fans love about CM Punk. Some people can't wait for him to just go off. I feel like people are like awaiting like a second pipe bomb or something to happen with him. But I'm pretty sure, considering what's all went on in the other company, that they're not going to let that sign slide. They're probably going to make him sign like a billion and one sheets of paper saying that you're not going to do this, and if you are, you're going to pay up. So, again, that's just excitement with Punk for me.
I think CM Punk as a whole brings a lot. I'm not a CM Punk fan, by the way, right? But he brings a lot to any company, and I think personally, I don't know him obviously, but like what went wrong in AEW, like this guy has been in this business for a long time and he's worked for various companies before a lot of the AEW guys were probably still in school, you know. There's still a lot of them are fairly younger, but they have a lot of ego, right? So CM Punk started when he was in, even when he was not being booked on TV, when he was on OVW, he was helping a lot of the other people. He would take time out of his day. He would stay there all day till like late at night, like watching what other people were doing, trying to help them, give them advice. He would work with Paul Heyman on storylines for OVW. So he's also seen the kind of like the back end of the business. He worked close hand with Paul Heyman, who's probably one of the greatest minds in wrestling, period, to create storylines. So working with Paul Heyman and to understand that kind of the back end of the business. And then he goes to AEW and then he tries to maybe, you know, tell some of the guys, oh, instead of doing it like this is how you should do it. And they're like, who the fuck are you talking to? Don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing, because they think, oh, he's done, he's washed up, right? But it's like he's trying to help you, he's trying to do, you know, bring you up. And I think WWE not only see that as him as a wrestler outside of that, but he even now he's like at NXT every single day trying to help the youngers, like talking with Shawn Michaels, you know what I mean? And I think he could be the predecessor of Shawn Michaels because he cares. He cares about the business, you know.
Could be the what?
Huh?
He could be the what?
He could be the what's the word? The next.
No, she had it.
I mean, you had the word right. I just want you to say it again.
Predecessor. I can't say it right. So he is. You can see that.
No, she just said it in an accent. Predecessor. She said it right, right?
Stop it, Sophia.
I love her accent.
I think I think that's what went wrong in AEW. He was trying to give advice as somebody who has been in this business for longer than a lot of these people have been. I wouldn't say alive because he's not that old, but they were still in school. They weren't wrestling then. They were like 8, 9 years old. You know what I mean? And so maybe he tried to, you know, say something like, oh, this is how you should do it. Maybe it didn't come out in a nice way because, you know, how you say things. And obviously there people have egos. They think that they're the guy. No one can tell them what to do because there is no authority there. Everyone does what they want, which is also a good environment for some people. But some people prefer structure than kind of like having everyone do what they want, you know. So I think as a he's a perfect company guy. He's not for like not like obviously AEW is a company, but like an environment where it's very flexible. He needs structure. He's very disciplined. This guy, if you watch his come up, he is so disciplined. I mean, you know, his vision was I'm gonna make it, and he had everything telling him, no, you're not. You know, even WWE was like, we're never gonna put you on TV, and he that faith and that discipline, you know, and that's why I think he's quite unbreakable in terms of like heart, you know.
I have a question, actually.
Oh, sorry.
No, you actually go ahead with your point.
No, you go ahead. Go.
No, it's just that I always had this weird theory when I watch people go from WWE and they do a good job. They've seen screen time. They've been on a WrestleMania stage and they go to AEW. I feel like it's very like rough of a transition because there's not as much structure over there as Sophie was just saying, especially when like you have like the inmates almost running the whole company. So I feel like when it comes to CM Punk, I always wonder, like, was he ever going to last over there in AEW, or was it just, you know, supposed to be like a pull for the audience just to establish the company and then let him run off to wherever? Because I don't ever felt like for me watching him, he blended in well with AEW as much as he called it like home, or he hyped up the business and he said he was so happy to be there. So I kind of wanted to get your opinion on that.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I think it's I mean, simply put, it's WCW all over again, right? It's WCW 2.0, and but the difference is I feel like they're gonna collapse faster is because they don't have like an Eric Bischoff. I think Eric Bischoff at one point was really holding it together until the Hogan and all those guys came in, and it was like 75 members in the NWO, and like it got
Yeah.
crazy. So, yeah, I think they have the money. It's just they have no structure, as you said. So AEW, like, I was all for it, and it's crazy because the owners are Pakistani as well. It's a Pakistani owner, and you could tell he's a fan, but it's kind of like me. If I was a billionaire, I'd be like, yeah, let me sign this guy, let me sign this guy, but I'm not gonna know what to do with it because, like, I'm just a fanboy, like, playing make believe, right? I don't have the business sense.
Playing
That's
GM
why I
mode in
feel
real
like
life.
exactly. Yeah, no, I wanted to ask Trey, because Trey, you mentioned you've met Punk a few times at, like, meet and greets.
Yeah.
So tell me this, because you read these stories and whatever, the dirt sheets and all that bullshit, dude. I just feel like he is probably the coolest dude, like, to meet, and just like he's super genuine, and I don't see the whole, like, this image that they've built up around him, this backstage image or whatever the hell. I feel like that's all BS.
So our first meeting was a little weird because I was walking up and my buddy was like, "Hey, y'all got the same birthday." And, like, the first thing he said to me was like, "You're probably younger than me, you little asshole." I was like, the fuck? And then we just started going, like, back and forth for, like, it was about a good 4 or 5 minute conversation of us just going back and forth. And he was like, "Yeah, you a birthday twin." And I was like, "Okay, dude, kind of cool, whatever." Um,
Yeah,
when he's with fans and everything, I've never seen him, like, act ridiculous as long as you are, like, respectful. But that's a lot of wrestlers. I
right.
can see what they go through backstage, but also being that I talked to a lot of wrestlers who met him backstage and everything, I don't get the same feeling that's really put out to everybody. But that's what a lot of people like. What's put out to people in the world is not the same. Like, somebody may feel a certain way about Sophia, but actually knowing Sophia, I don't have that same look at it. And that's how a lot of wrestlers are. Like, a lot of information we get in the public, it's just like, really take it with a grain of salt. Because if you believe in that, it's an issue. But some of them did that shit. But Punk, I've never had a bad interaction with him or seen him act outrageous with people. But I can also say, if we got the same birthday, I know how I could get. Can I put it past him? Like, it's probably there somewhere. Some people probably have seen it, but is he all the way an asshole all the time to people? I haven't seen that now.
Okay. So you're saying the other wrestlers you've spoken to, they have sort of
They haven't had any,
co-sign?
like, bad stories about him or anything. It's like,
Oh, okay.
like, a lot of people, like, he really be in here trying to help us backstage and do this and that. He go out to different places with us, but, like, the stories that get put out about him, it's just
Right.
like one instance or something. But
Right.
I've heard more good stuff than I heard bad stuff about him. So I really take everything with a grain of salt that I hear about
True.
some people.
Nah, for sure. Because I remember that Colt, the Colt Cabana podcast. You guys remember that one? The one that the infamous pod that dropped, and, like, you just hear these things and you're like, damn, like, that really opens your eyes, and I'm just listening to the guy and I'm like, yo, he just sounds like he just got kind of tired and just got kind of fed up, and he had to sort of strong arm his way into the top, and I think there was a point during that, like, right before him leaving, he was selling either as much or more merch than Cena. Like, he was hotter. There was something like that came out, some sort of news, and but just that podcast was very, like, eye opening. I was like, damn, Triple H is an asshole. Like,
Now, that podcast, I believe that was him at his end point, and he was like, "You know what? Fuck all of
yeah,
it.
that's like straight
Y'all get to
WrestleMania.
hear everything." And when I heard the podcast, I was like, "Damn, I've been to points like that." And he probably never thought he was gonna go back, so he's just like, "Let's get everything out there." But yeah, that podcast, that's like, they need to talk about that podcast on WWE TV, because that's some realism for your ass right there. But
Right, yeah. Yo, they should bring back BSR because I would love to see him just sit down with Stone Cold, bro. Like that would be wild.
30,000, 18,000 people in Chicago. The War Games match just ended. They're in the ring. They're celebrating. Look in my eyes. Your music hit. What are you thinking right now, CM Punk? That's all I need to hear from Austin.
I swear. Yo, and did you guys pick up? My boy came back a little extra. He looking like a unit, bro. Like I was like, okay.
Like he been in the gym.
Yeah.
Now he looked refreshed. Like I don't know, he looked old and raggedy in AEW. And he's like, no, for real.
Exactly.
He looked worn out. He looked like a dad. He's not even a dad. Like you know what I mean? But he came out. He looked like he was 10 years younger. I was like, whoa,
Everybody
a
was
little
like,
gray, but like 10 years younger. I was like, oh, okay,
is that Punk?
okay. Oh, yeah. I was like, okay, you trying to compete with Randy? Like.
No, it's true. I was thinking, like, because he looked very tired on AEW. He looked exhausted.
Every day, yeah, eye bags. Every day. Oh
you know what I mean? And you can get surgery to remove eye bags. So I was thinking, has he had like any work done? Because he looked so much fresh. He looks like he's been sleeping. He looks so like, even though whatever he was doing worked temporarily at AEW, deep down you could see he didn't want to be there. And I don't know if he was doing it for money. I don't know. His end goal was like, I need to get back to WWE, and this is my way of kind of getting back on the radar, because 10 years is a long time. And in that business, people, obviously, we can say that people don't forget, but during that time, the last 10 years, no one was really talking about him. He became like a has-been, right? And there's so many of those. So, I don't know. It will be. I hope one day he can talk about like why, or was his end goal was to go to AEW, and then maybe he knew that once he gains traction, they will be interested. Who knows if he's still in touch with Paul Heyman deep down, and maybe Paul Heyman was like, "Yo, come back. I'll help you, but you need to, start getting momentum again in order for them to see something in you."
I truthfully thought he was going to do 3 years in AEW. Then when the 3 years was up, he was going to go back to the E and do his last run. I said that from the beginning. Like, I was like, this probably him just trying to get back into it, reaccumulate it. I call a lot of them WWE guys who leave, I call them butterflies, because I feel like, the DC Peacemaker movie, they sending people out there and they really just like picking people and telling them like, hey, you should go back over to the E because, they'll blow you up over there. I feel like it's a lot of that going on. Like, even though he was in AEW, like they said he went backstage to WWE in Chicago and talked to some people for like 15 to 20 minutes, probably just trying to test the waters. Yo, y'all good with me? Y'all cool? We okay here? So I always felt like it was an end game to go back. I feel like it's a couple of end game going over there in AEW for people to go back, but that's just my opinion.
That makes sense, yeah.
Going back to what you said, Osama, about the animosity. I watched the bump yesterday, and Drew was like, I'm probably one of the oldest people who know him, because they had wrestled. He's known him longer than pretty much everyone else in the business. They've known each other. And he's like got this great animosity against him. And he's like, no one knows him like I know him. And he's not a good guy. And then like you hear all these stories. And it's just like, as you said, we don't see that. So what is it that people see? What is Drew talking about, or Seth? Who, Drew was saying how they traveled the world together before WWE, and just like he's not a good person. Is that kayfabe? Like, that's the psychology that I like, though, because then we're trying to like play detective and trying to figure it out and think, is there any truth in this? And Drew, I don't know if you watched the bump yesterday. I don't know if anyone even watches the bump, but he was like so serious. He was like, I've known him longer than pretty much everyone in this company, and we travel the world together, and he's not a nice guy. And I'm just like, huh?
I could kind of guess he's probably saying that because maybe Punk was like, yo, like, I have a bedtime. I could just see Punk being like that work where like, yeah, I gotta go to sleep. No, I don't want to go out. Da, 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 da. Like, maybe that. I don't know. Again, I'm guessing here, But I don't know, man. I feel like these guys are because okay, let's be real. Like the whole Seth clip that leaked, and with those guys holding him back and everything. I mean, like again, initially, like the emotional reaction I think we all had was like, oh shit, oh he's doing a whole lot of this. I think, oh yeah, he means it, he means it. But then you kind of think about it, and like, no one's gonna allow any of that if it's not already pre-planned. So, I mean, I'm for it. I'm for the whole breaking the fourth wall, blurring the lines, that whole bit. Unless we're talking about like peak HBK and a whole lot of that. you know? So like that's when that kind of stuff comes out. Like that's oh shit, oh that makes sense now. So I don't think Punk is into any of that, and he's all about that. He's pretty much like beating that to death at all. Straight edge, no drugs, no this, no that. Because I think they call him an asshole because he's probably too boring, like that in that sense. Maybe I don't know. Again, I'm just guessing. Like
we got to cut the Shawn Michaels part. We trying to get back in his good graces after he blocked.
Oh, really? Why?
We did a podcast comparing AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels, and he didn't like what we had to say.
Wow.
I love him though. I mean, I fucking love him.
Wow, that's interesting. Do you think? Okay, so you're a huge Roman guy. Do you think that Seth Rollins and CM Punk is bigger of a feud than anything Roman has had as the tribal chief, as the brand ambassador, let's call him, of WWE? Because he's had feuds, but I wouldn't say any of them have been compelling to the point that 20 years from now people are going to talk about it. Not like Shawn Michaels and Brett, or you compare some of the greatest rivalries, Kane and Undertaker. I see Seth and CM Punk being that, just because it is very realistic. And even when CM Punk wasn't in the company, Seth Rollins was still talking shit about him, right? So it's so realistic to the point that it's very exciting.
So does Roman have anything bigger than Seth and CM Punk right now? And I don't think so, but when you get to CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, that's even bigger than the CM Punk Seth Rollins. Because that podcast, like he was talking about, it was basically CM Punk bashing Roman Reigns like a lot of that time. Like a main thing from that podcast that I always remember is they kept telling me to make Roman look strong, to make Roman look strong. They kept telling me to make Roman look strong. Like I know what I'm doing, but I got to make Roman look strong. And that right there, like when you look at it, a lot of the boos and everything that happened with Roman coincided with right when that podcast came out. Because I was at the Survivor Series after it. They booed him there when he won the championship. He got booed at the Royal Rumble. So that's more heat there. But what Roman's doing right now, CM Punk and Seth Rollins, this feud right here got it, period.
What do you think, Monique?
I always have myself muted. Oh my god. Okay, so you're asking me about Seth and Roman?
No, Seth and Punk as a feud.
Seth and Punk. Honestly, I feel like it's gonna be feud of the year. Well, not of this year. It's gonna go into 2024. It's gonna be feud of the next year, to be honest. And I think it's gonna be huge. Like I said, there's that realism factor that we haven't seen in a minute. It doesn't feel like it's scripted. It doesn't feel like it's played out. I can't tell. Like I said, if there's animosity between a company man that is Seth Rollins, because I mean, this is a personal feeling, but I feel like Seth Rollins is like the perfect wrestler, if you will, and he's like a company guy. Like he kind of got he went through the indies, yes, but he's been like WWE's chosen, not face, but one of the faces for the company. So I could imagine what it feels like for him to watch CM Punk do what he does, go off, badmouth the company, come back, and then get pushed towards the front just because of his name value. I feel like that alone is what makes the feud really, really juicy. That's why when I heard him saying what he was saying on the mic on Monday, I thought that it had to have partially some honesty to it, because I would be offended too, because like he's been carrying the company on his back for like the last 10 years. and you don't hear anything.
Who?
Seth.
Seth, I feel like he shows up and he does his job. Like, you really don't hear that much about Seth.
What about Drew McIntyre, man? COVID, the guy was holding the company up. Poor guy.
There's only
He did his
one
part.
guy
He
who's
did his
carrying the
part.
company. There's
Roman did his part too,
yeah,
but Seth is that
not
guy.
his part. He was the part.
Oh,
You
here
guys
we
got to
go.
admit, he was
Here
the part.
Seth always does what he has to do, and you don't hear him complaining about the company. Like, so I could. What?
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. Like, I feel like you got your pitching fork ready for me, but go ahead.
I feel like Seth's only problem is he, and I heard somebody else make this distinction. Like, I agree with her right now. Seth Rollins will be the best wrestler in the world to me, but he's also he's in Roman Reigns' era. So it's like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man. Like, Macho Man was that dude back then, but you still had that guy over there. And like Seth Rollins is that dude. But
that's a great comparison. Yeah.
You got Roman Reigns over there. So, you know, I mean, Monique ain't lying with nothing she's saying about Seth. You know what I'm saying?
No, she's not lying. I agreed on the wrestler part.
Agreed
on the wrestling part. But as far as carrying the company,
The
thing that no, I can't. I don't like this set. Ha 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 ha. I'm tired of
Why
this.
not? It's so funny.
That's the best.
What?
I love to laugh.
This is my favorite stuff of all.
Like,
of all of them.
Dude, it was cool to a point. Yeah, like I'm tired of the corny suits and like I like the Seth that when he came back from injury and I'm forgetting which event it was and he came right in and he pedigreed Roman and you didn't know is he face heel, what's going on. That Seth was, I feel like that was like that sort of, it wasn't architect set and it wasn't the ha ha ha, that's it was like something in between, right? That to me was a cooler Seth Rollins. I don't know, it's again agreed on the wrestling bit.
I love him because he's so petty. Like, he sold me when he violated Edge's house. From there,
I remember that.
But he wasn't doing the ha ha ha. He wasn't doing all that back then.
But he was on the way there. He was like building up this Joker like character, and I love it. Like, it's so just maniacal and petty. It's in your face. It's supposed to be obnoxious. The outfits are obnoxious. They're stylish and obnoxious at the same time. Like, I love it because who else is doing that? I love seeing things and gimmicks that aren't replicated everywhere else.
True.
That's
but I mean, Sting kind of did it better.
Yo, we are going to beef.
You talking about
answer for everything.
that little Joker Sting, that little tiny run that he had as Joker Sting.
We don't even got to compare them. That Sting is untouchable. But we don't have to compare that. Self is
yeah. I mean, like the thing you talking about feuds, right? If I think you guys all forgot the other big, the Mr. I don't know if I'm doing the pose right.
You got the angle.
Yeah, So I feel like they might set up Roman and Randy because like the seeds and the injury and the bloodline, all that stuff is already there. Will it be as fire with the promos as Seth and Punk? I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
But I feel like it could be right there. Like they'll probably be like a step apart maybe. But again, I just commented this on WWE's like one of their posts somewhere, and I was like, they better give him night 2 main event, not that night 1 bullshit. Like they better give him the main event. I'm talking about Punk because that was his one gripe, and I think he deserved it, dude. Like as big as he was, and he worked his ass up there. He wasn't pushed like just the whole. The factory he didn't have a factory push. He organically built himself up. Yeah. So they better give him that main event, I don't not.
So watching WWE for a while, nothing in my head makes me believe that he'll get this night 2 main event. Only because
you think so?
Nothing in my head last year made me believe that Cody was gonna get that world title. Because I was like, you just here's my reasoning. He had just came from AEW. He didn't win all that time, and he had the injury and everything, and then he won the Rumble. In my head, I'm like, there's no way they're going to let you come from the outside, beat Seth Rollins those 3 times, go into the Rumble win, and then beat Roman, you're going to have to wait a little bit. I just feel like that's what they do when people come from the outside. Like, yeah, we'll give you that spot that you want, but you're not going to get it just right now. We got to keep building. Like Seth, I can see him night 1, but I believe if Roman's on the card, Roman's the main event, period. If CM Punk was to face Roman, he could probably be on night 2, but unless this feud is just the build-up is just so magnificent.
Do you think that they're gonna play him the way they played Cody? Because he came from AEW and he did all that shit talking? Like, do you think they're just gonna get one last slashing?
I mean, I feel like they always get the get back. That get back a motherfucker. Like, we got you here, but we gonna get our get back at some point. And I feel like that with WWE when a lot of people come in and be like, yeah, y'all like them and everything, but trust, we gonna get our get back from what we do.
They did that to Sting, bro.
You feel me?
They fumbled Sting so hard, bro.
They gonna get that get back some type of way. So maybe Punk does beat Seth at WrestleMania and win the title. I wouldn't doubt none that Damian Priest comes that night or a week later and take
the squashed the next night.
Yeah, or something like that. They gonna get the get back.
Can't stand the blood. Oh, sorry, the Judgment Day, and these guys are so corny.
I love the Judgment Day.
They're polarizing.
Minus Rhea. I love Rhea, but the rest of them are so corny at this point. They're terrible, dude.
You don't like the ex-con Dom?
He's fine. He's fine too. Yeah. See, I feel like booing him is just, it's like the cool thing to do at this point. Like it was funny, the way it started happening in the beginning, but now it's like, oh, he's got the mic, let's boo him. So
and he looks very punchable, not for nothing.
Yeah, no, definitely. So with Seth, he's wanted to be the guy and tried doing everything in his power to have that kind of presence that Roman Reigns has. And, as Trey mentioned, you can't have two, someone mentioned, you can't have 2 people. It has to be Macho Man. There can't be Hulk Hogan and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. So my point is that Seth Rollins has wanted a feud, right? He has been praying for a feud, and I guess patience is a virtue because he's been waiting for a long time to get something on the caliber of him and CM Punk. And I believe it has the potential to be bigger than anything Roman has done in his entire wrestling career. Because, first of all, there is realistic hatred. I don't know if CM Punk feels the same way. I haven't heard him say anything like, oh, he hates Seth Rollins outside, personally, but you hear Seth saying, I fucking hate you. So yeah. I think that this has the potential to be bigger than anything Roman Reigns has done in his entire career. And it's good for CM Punk to have this moment finally in his career. He's been waiting for something like this and hasn't been given the opportunity. Or maybe there wasn't anyone around that could patience is a virtue. And finally, something like this is happening in his career. It will be a bittersweet moment to see him lose to CM Punk, although kind of bittersweet if CM Punk loses too, right? So, going with that feud, what's your thoughts about that?
Everybody wins in a weird way. Because if I hate CM Punk, I get to cheer for Seth, and those fans will be happy. But if he loses, if he goes over, then yes, they're going to be happy. So it's kind of like a nice little win-win. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going over. But it's something where I feel like they couldn't have placed any other better first feud for him to where everyone as the audience could just feast off of. But what do you guys think?
Or could it end in a DQ, which
that's some bullshit.
Longevity and continue like the Roman and Brock Lesnar that we saw for 5 years.
I hate when they do that. It doesn't build anything because then why have the
match? You know why they got to keep doing that is because the way they've built up Roman into this larger than life super, there's nobody else to sort of sort of contrast that.
There is, but they keep him away from him.
Who are you talking about?
Bobby Lashley is right there, and they
forgot
Bobby.
about him.
I agree. Yeah, Lashley's been fumbled.
They're keeping them away from each other.
Lashley's been fumbled. I feel like, and God rest his soul, man. It breaks my heart that Wyatt is not here, for this little. That was. I'm sorry. What did you say?
So don't remind me. R.I.P. Thank you. R.I.P.
Yeah. Like, rest his soul. For him to be missing this current this roster right now, like the way it's looking, it's such a, like, he could have easily rivaled Roman, but I feel like they're gonna set up Randy, because I don't think Cena's gonna be back in that sense anymore. Like, he was just there
Bald spot.
for a minute. I'm sorry.
Bald spot. That's his name.
He was there because of the strikes. There was no
that's terrible. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he was there. The Rock came back because of the strikes, but poor guy. Like, hey, he's still up there. Like, he's still top 5. Like, he's in the conversation, right? But Cena, I think they're gonna have Randy probably topple Roman. That's the most believable thing in my head right now. Like as a feud, as a personality, like two personalities clashing, like Alpha versus Alpha. Like, Randy's the most believable, and this Randy, I'm talking about Randy 5.0, whatever, just came back.
Randy never has a bad era, yo. There's not one bad era.
But this version, like dude was like, he was hearing some more than voices in his head. I don't know what he was hearing.
God, he was like this.
So I feel like probably they're gonna have Randy take the belt and somehow maybe lead up to Randy and Cody down the line, and then Cody is the one. Again, this is just like, if I just have to shoot the shit.
Are we gonna get Legacy back without Ted DiBiase, but somebody else? I feel like they entertained it for like 2 seconds in the ring.
Yeah, they did. And that's why I feel like Cody's gonna probably topple Randy down the line, if Randy is the one to dethrone Roman in that sense. So,
I'm sorry, I'm like segueing.
Who would make the most sense for you guys to, dethrone Roman? And will it be another spell of like 2 years, 3 years with the belt, or will it now be more fluid and somebody has it for 3 months, or maybe that's too short, but like 6 months and then someone else? Because 3 months, 3 years, my bad, is the long term. Or is Roman not going to lose for another year to outdo everything that WWE has ever done?
I feel like he might hold it to about September, because he'll pass up Hogan.
Hogan, yeah.
I really feel
is it Hogan or Bob Backlund? Who's number one?
Hogan first.
Hogan.
It's Hogan. Okay.
And I feel like they just trying to get that out the way.
Yeah.
To dethrone him. I think they are headed towards Roman versus Randy at the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then, I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it. Cody losing again. And then, like, they come back around to it. But yeah, I don't. Believable Randy could do it. Bobby could do it. Everybody wants Cody, but I'm afraid if Cody dethrones him, you get about 2 to 3 months before the fans turn on him.
Not just turn, they'll get bored.
Yeah,
like they'll be like, because that's just the attention spans nowadays. Like, they'll be like, oh yeah, cool.
Ambassador, don't you think? Like, he can go on late night shows and he can be the advocate. He's a good speaker, so he can do the wrestling thing. Like Cena, he can do both, right? He's a showman. And I feel like Miz, to be honest, is underrated, because he's probably the best. I know, like, he will never be the guy, but he's probably the best ambassador for the company in terms of being the face. But Cody has that. I don't see Randy Orton. Randy Orton's a wrestler. He's not a showman, right? You need both in order to be the face of the company. I think this is where AEW lacks. They need to start sending their wrestlers onto mainstream television shows. Like, WWE's crossed over with everything, you name it, like house building shows, gardening shows, everything. Their cooking shows, they put them everywhere. So you're familiar with these wrestlers, you know what I mean? Nickelodeon, all these in like MTV, all the main establishments, they cross over. You're seeing WWE everywhere. And that's what AEW, I know they don't care about being celebrities and they want to be wrestlers, but you like there's no like longevity because then that's like an indie company, then isn't it? You know,
they've been they
If
have
they
had them.
I'm sorry, if they didn't care about being like celebrities over there in AEW, why would they like bring over mainstream artists earlier in the year?
They do, but no one's. The thing is, no, you don't really hear about it, right? It's not like
I don't know. Bow Wow and Jay got into it, and I think it was on the Shade Room or something. That's still mainstream, if you ask me. But go on.
They had that DJ, what's his name? Who Kid? But I mean, like they need to be on like late night TV shows. They need to go on the Food Network. They need to be everywhere.
Yo, Willow is on the Food Network.
No way. See, I didn't even know that.
So AEW has a bunch of commercials that they did that are running, and Willow pops up on the Food Network at least like one time every 3 hours with her commercial over there. And it's actually good because you know people see it.
Yeah,
Willow's the star. AEW real problem. I don't think they promotion like they did have all those rappers and music artists on there, but what do you really remember? Like Jade, Bow Wow, that hit for like 2-3 weeks and then it dropped off.
Who else?
You didn't get no payoff from it. Kevin Gates came on.
Trina came on.
Trina did come on. They were building a feud, right, with Trina because she's from Miami with the other girl. What's her name? Diamond or something.
Did Rick Ross come on or my
that fell off? Rick Ross came on twice. He was supposed to be a part of a group that fell. Like
Trina did something with Jade as well when she was in AEW because she's from Florida, right?
They do a lot of stuff, but it just doesn't pan out.
No, they need to do they need to go onto the late night shows and like the mainstream TV shows because that's what everyone watches, you know. It's like Dancing with the Stars and all that type of TV show.
Not Dancing with the Stars yet.
No, Dancing with the Stars is the one you follow.
No. Jericho was on there, wasn't
it brings people, it crosses over from, which is weird.
It worked. Didn't like Nikki Bella do it and Stacy Keibler did it, and it was around like when they released the video games, and Stacy was on the cover of Day Reckoning 2 around that time. I remember weird shit, but yeah, it does work. Even the dumb shit promotions, they work. They work.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like they do that. Like I don't know I know this is his own project, right? But he has access to some of the greatest people in marketing and publicists from film. Soccer team and you know, I don't know about the NFL stuff, but it's not like he doesn't have access to these people. Maybe he's not interested, you know, because it's not like he can't do it unless WWE have blackballed him and said, if you work with these guys, we're not going to work with you, which they did with another company in an app. I can't remember. It was like, was it Tubi? There was was it MLW or something? We're trying to get onto one of the apps and WWE
get that yesterday. Yep.
But see the difference. The difference is again. I just feel like Tony Khan is just a rich ass fanboy, and he's kind of making all of his little fanboy dreams come true. Now the difference with the business sense is, you got your Trina, Rick Ross, all that. But who does WWE get? Bad Bunny. Who's Bad Bunny? The biggest streaming artist in the world. Like, when's the last time you heard a hot Trina song, right? And when's the last time, even Rick Ross is like, he's like, no, I mean, I'm from Florida. Like, I'm from Florida. I grew up with the South. So I think we just lost Trey. Oh no, he's back. So I mean. The business people, whoever's running marketing, who do they work with? They're working with 2K series, in terms of video games, right? They're not working with Acclaim. They're not working with EA Sports, or I don't even know if EA Sports is still around. They go with the top tier, so they're always geared for the starters. You know, essentially AEW right now, that's the bench. That's your second string, you know,
Yeah.
sadly. So
Yeah.
that's why I feel like all these guys like the Daniel Bryans and see, I'm trying to see MJF.
Can you lay off Daniel Bryan? Like you dragged him 3 times now.
No, because no, again, nothing against the guy. He's cool. He's fun. Like his return was great and all that. But again, you know, it gets boring very fast, right? Because essentially we want to be entertained, and I don't know. Like my thing is what I was trying to say. I'm trying to see like a MJF, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks. I just want to see these guys go to WWE and get like the proper sort of mega stardom that they deserve, especially MJF. Like he's I don't know when his contract is up or like I hope
Next
it's
year,
soon.
no, 2024, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay, okay.
I think so.
Yeah, he needs to go. Like he needs to go
But
to
then will
WWE.
he get buried in WWE, which is always a concern with some people, you know? And I think Will Ospreay had kind of concerns of like if he went to WWE, would he get buried, right? Because there's so many characters that are larger than life that you might be big in the streets, but when you go there, it's a whole different. And that's also the thing with NXT guys. Like I think about Carmelo Hayes when he's probably the biggest star in NXT, but when he goes to the big boys league, what's gonna happen? Is it you know is he because there's too much personalities, right? And some people go over organically eventually, like Sami Zayn, and I'm so happy for it.
Yeah.
But like, or does it end up like Mustafa Ali, who is a great wrestler, by the way? And I'm just like, damn, man, what the hell happened here? You know?
Yeah, poor guy. Poor guy.
Oh,
He
God.
seems like a cool guy.
First off, Melo is him. He'll be good wherever he goes, Sophia. So you know what I'm saying. I don't know, man. So Ospreay saying he might get buried over there in WWE. Like, is he gonna get buried over there in AEW with all the people they got? Because I mean, AEW's roster is stacked with some huge names, and it's like people over there doing some stuff where it's like, dang, what are y'all doing with this person?
Yeah.
But then there's some people over there, it's like, okay, y'all moving with him. Like, I really expect the Keith Lee to be doing more than what he's doing right now, doing another fight with Shane Taylor, like they did that last year.
Do you think he's gonna go back? I think he's somebody that could go back, and his wife is there, you know.
With Triple H in charge now, I believe he goes back.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because I don't know what he's doing over in I don't know. I don't really care about him and Shane Taylor feud. Because they've been talking about this for like a year and a half, and now they're finally having a match. Yeah, it's too late for me. Young Bucks, Kenny Omega in the E.
Dead on arrival.
Kenny Omega maybe have some wings to him. You know what I'm saying? The Young Bucks, I just haven't seen nothing different from them in like 10 years. Like the matches that I've seen from him in 2012 is the same structured matches that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Same storylines they did in Ring of Honor. It's just remixed now for AEW. I mean, they did for Ring of Honor, they did for New Japan. They just remixed them for AEW. And people are like, oh man, they're doing everything. Like they put so much into those storylines, and they may add one little element, but imagine them with like somebody structured giving them storyline. They might be able to cook, but they probably will be dead on arrival also because they get back tomorrow. It's a few people I feel like you go over there, they're gonna get you back at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, I believe Triple H and Shawn Michaels are still petty once you
Yeah. And I think that Pretty Deadly is kind of like the more WWE version of the Young Bucks because they can do some really cool stuff in the ring too. And they dress a bit, I mean, I can't compare the dress sense, but they're eccentric.
And they're young is the most important part.
Yeah. I know Trey just nearly spilled his drink.
Well, I'm really gonna have to like look into that. You know, Pretty Deadly's like the WWE version of Young. I mean, you might be cooking right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
That's a good comparison. Yeah.
NXT's a good show that gets slept on a lot. They have a lot of good talent.
Yes, they do. Shout out to Trick Williams. Shout out to Lash Legend. Shout out
Period.
to Tiana James. Okay. That's the homie. Oh, and my big homie, Thea Hill, you know what I'm saying, and Roxy. Okay.
Yo, well, a good example of somebody not getting buried who crossed over was AJ Styles. So there is hope.
He was too big to try to bury him back then, though.
What?
Yeah. And so I mean, like somebody like an MJF who would come over, if he does sort of defer over, I think he's going up. I don't see that.
So you saying he come over and he's one of the ones for them? Because I don't see if he comes over. I see like a building period for him, but I don't see him just automatically going in and being like, oh, he's main event picture right now.
Oh no, of course not. No, not like that. But I mean, like they would invest. Like they wouldn't just waste MJF the way they have wasted talents in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like guys who've come in and now they do have a platform like NXT. I think what's his name? Corbin is a good example. Like what the hell were they doing with Corbin, and then now he's over in NXT, like he's doing his thing, like he's fine, he's all right.
You right. So I care
People
about
are okay with that though.
I care about Brian Pillman more now than I did when he was in AEW at any point.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Darby. Oh, I forgot about Darby, bro. I would love to see Darby come over.
Yeah, I think his gimmick would work for NXT. I think if he kept the same thing, it would be such a great addition to NXT.
You talking about Dudley?
Darby Allin.
Darby Allin, skateboard. He's at Slash Dudley.
Like Dudley out here in these streets.
He would work immediately though because he like gives the audience a more of a Jeff Hardy feel.
Yeah.
He's like a daredevil. He's always doing reckless shit,
And I don't know. I haven't been tuned in for a minute, but fucking Freshly Squeezed, bro. Orange Cassidy.
No, miss with that one. No, absolutely not.
Yo, he is
absolutely
dude. That guy is hilarious.
No. Hey, we gonna have to kick you out of here because
right. We was on a roll, right? Everyone's like a long. He says Orange Cassidy.
Bro, that guy. He has to be one of the funniest things to like hit characters in a minute. I don't know. I haven't been tuned in for a while though.
He was funny for 5 minutes for me. For 5 minutes, a little side kick, a little knee kick thing, and then I don't know. After it just pissed me off. Like, do something else, please. Because, like, when Cody Rhodes came in, the part that just pisses me off about Orange Cassidy is that he wanted this to be, like, a sports-centric thing, right? And then you got Orange Cassidy over here doing fake leg kicks. Like, he's like, to me, he should have been handled like R-Truth. He should have been there just for comedic timing and then get the fuck out. A little bit. Little short doses. Put him in there, sprinkle him in, so I can appreciate him and get him the fuck out. Don't put him in a title match.
Y'all don't fuck with the.
No, absolutely not. No.
You know, I used to mess with him, but this championship reign like really took me out of it because I'm like, yo, bro, he's running through everybody right now, and it should not.
Oh, I haven't been tuned in, so I don't.
Do you think that's because the loyalty, though? I feel like that's why, maybe, because I don't see anything in him, but he's been there from day one. You know, when AEW started, he was there. So I think maybe this is Tony Khan's like gift to him. Like, you was rocking with me when no one was watching us. You know, now I'm gonna
mark for him since the jump. What do you mean?
What about Scorpio Sky then?
I know, I agree, but I think that's the only conclusion to why Orange Cassidy gets so much, because there's nothing in him in terms of like nothing. Like, yeah, he can wrestle, but who else can't? I think Dante should go to NXT as well. Him and his brother.
Who you talking about? Top Flight?
Yeah,
my people.
They should go. They have.
I love them.
Yeah, they should. They should go. Definitely.
Move on. I almost said something. Let's keep going.
What?
Yeah,
Those my people. That's
Okay.
all I can say. So we
So
might get our way soon, but
okay. I don't know what the time limit on, but like just I want to get everyone's thoughts on what do you guys think of this as a prediction? Because this was already, I mean, he pretty much kind of already said this publicly, but you know, if they do have Randy and Roman coming up, and then Randy does dethrone Roman, and then you know, then they build up to Roman versus Rock eventually. That way, there's no belt involved, and you know they can kind of do that thing, and then Roman can be kind of put over as that dude, you know, and they would do that in a way that then Punk, because I think Trey might be right in the sense that they might not give him night two, because I think it was like a 5-year deal. Again, we just, you know, I just whatever information is put out there, but if it is a long-term deal, then they might be setting him up for, you know, not this coming WrestleMania, but next WrestleMania, which is whichever one that is. Maybe that could be night two, the main one, right? Again, just shooting the shit here. What do you guys think about that?
then by that time, Roman probably be in Hollywood full time or something. Maybe 2
Yeah.
or 3 years.
Yeah.
You think the audience wants another year of Roman?
It ain't about what the audience want.
But they
because
he's really popular, unfortunately.
Yeah, because when Cody didn't win,
unfortunate.
And I like Roman too, but like I get tired of him some days. I'm like, damn, somebody else.
But we get him in doses that he barely comes out. Like they're building up that whole mysterious, you know.
They have to.
He about to go to Brock Lesnar like territory. Like I believe after he lose the belt, like he'll probably go to Hollywood, but he'll come like The Rock when he first left. He'll go to Hollywood, come back at different times, then go back, come back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the point of prepping Jay because they're trying to like get away from this.
You see Jay out here, though. Jay out here cooking.
Talking about WrestleMania, Jay versus Jimmy could because I don't know if you watched his podcast with Chris, and they were saying that would be their dream match each other because they started in their front room wrestling when they were like 5 years old, and they that's their lifelong dream.
I don't want to see it ooze.
I don't want to see it ooze.
That's crazy.
Bro.
Now I know that's gonna be the match, but it's gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I gotta say, Jimmy Uso right now is probably bro, he's killing it way more than I feel like, because Jay's kind of, you know, being like put in place as the tough, you know, the blue collar, hard working, the one who,
you like
know,
the eat phase?
But Jimmy, the what? I'm sorry, what?
The eat phase. You're not into that?
I mean, yeah, it's cool, it's fun, but bro, Jimmy is so much more charismatic.
Oh, because Jimmy the heel, Jimmy do like it's little stuff Jimmy over there doing that's hilarious.
Yeah, the little things he does, yo, like it's fucking killing me. Like that dude, they had to carry him out after the last RKO he just took. He was wobbling and shit.
He's so dramatic. The Usos are good at that. They're very good at being extra. But you always don't like the heels better. I feel like the older I get, I just love the heels. Like there's just more to get out of them.
100%. Yeah, for sure.
So lastly, we're gonna go into. I know what is it? It's actually not that long away, but it is some time away. But Royal Rumble. Who do you think is going to win? Cody Rhodes or CM Punk?
But then we don't even know if Randy's going to be in it yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
Gunther.
You what?
He's not wrong though.
He said Gunther.
I mean, a lot of people think CM Punk is going to win. A lot of people think Seth or CM Punk's going to win. Let's just throw a whole monkey wrench in here. The person who we know probably should with Gunther. And let's go down this path right here.
Yeah.
I don't. Nah, I can't with Gunther, bro. He's just,
You don't
I
like
don't
him?
get that. Oh, he's just it's strange.
Oh
He's
man,
like.
you've been tripping the last half of this podcast.
He's really good. Honestly, he's really good. Also, Vinci and
Such a
are
heel.
really good.
No, I actually like the idea of Gunther's because it's not that predictable. I feel like that was something that we enjoyed about the Royal Rumble. Like you didn't know.
Mm.
There was always like a pool of like 4 to 5 people that it could have like went either way towards, and now it's down to like, all right, is it gonna be Punk? Because we thought it was Cody last year and Cody got it. So now it's like, does Seth need it? How many Royal Rumbles did Seth win so far? 1, 2? I feel like he won at least one. No,
No, I
he
don't think he won any.
didn't win any.
Yeah,
Really? It feels like he did. I feel
yeah.
like he got everything so far. He not a Grand Slam? Am I bugging?
Nah, I don't think he won. No.
I
That's
don't
crazy.
think so.
That's crazy. It felt like he did something, but like
I think he had that big cash in. He had that big cash in at WrestleMania. That's what he had.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And he
Oh,
still had this moment. I feel like they could still work
he won in
around.
2019.
Oh, did he? Okay, okay.
Well, there you go. Okay, so I'm not bugging. Oh yeah, that's the WrestleMania that I went to. I'm bugging.
Ah,
I'm bugging. But yeah, nah.
He
If
faked a lot.
if Punk wins, I'm not upset with it. It's just that it's too predictable, and I think that was my problem with last year. I was just waiting for him to win, and I don't think anyone likes that. I actually would love it if like Randy fucks it up. Let Randy fuck everything up. Like right now, he feels like a baby face, but we don't fully know yet. Just let him like go pull a heel turn and fuck it all up for everybody. Let him go over. Go let Gunther go over. Let him align with somebody else. I would love that. If it ends in somewhat of a fuck finish, I feel like there'll be more excitement because I think that's why we were all disappointed that Cody didn't win. Because we're like, all right, you won, so why did you not win WrestleMania? Like that's what we predicted. Give me something different. Don't give it to Punk. Punk's gonna get to WrestleMania anyways. Give him a different route. Something else. Me.
But then if Cody wins, then what do you think? You think they're gonna set him up with Roman then?
They can't. It can go any way. I just don't want you to give it to Punk that easily. Because then we're not going to appreciate him. Because it's like, all right, like now they're putting the battery in your back because you're here again. You're in Cody's spot. Whoop-de-fucking do. Like I don't feel like we're going to enjoy that.
And that's why Cody didn't win last year.
Yeah, I don't want that. Surprise me.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think?
I think it's tough, man. Because here's the thing: if Randy is declared for it, then I don't know. Shit, give it to the Miz.
The Miz. Oh, you missed me again with that.
But if we're going for
Dre's face
a
is killing
long
me.
You don't fuck with it, bro. Come on. Yo,
I like you, but you out here, you wild.
The last 10 minutes, he's sick of you.
So I mean, if they are going long term, and if the whole Rock thing is happening, shoot, then yeah, maybe. I don't think it can be Cody then though, because it might be somebody else. It could just, shit. If they're going if they're doing the whole long term thing, then I don't think they're gonna go either Cody or Punk. They might just somebody third. Could be, a Gunther or who else is there?
Bobby Lashley.
Dom.
But I don't think they.
What?
Big E.
Ooh, Biggie would be a great return. Yo, go on.
That'd be great. I would cry if Biggie came back and went that way.
Yeah,
that would be the perfect surprise. I would bawl. Yeah.
Oh, what about the women's one though? Do you think that Sasha Banks is a potential of a return?
Don't do this. Don't please.
So, or Bailey, because word on the street says she's getting the boot from Damage Control, and who else? In terms of like women, you don't really want to see Becky or Bianca win.
No, God, no. I'm sorry.
No.
I love Bianca too. I
Probably
love
feel
Nia.
Naya.
like
Then maybe Naya. No.
I feel like we're headed towards Rhea versus Becky.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Mm.
that's like what they've been holding off since like September, October. Like that's gonna happen. I hope Becky doesn't win the Rumble to go that way. But I really don't have a Rumble winner though.
Do you think Liv's? It could be Liv too, right? A lot of people, a lot of the
God, no, I don't want
Twitter
Liv.
rally. I'm not a fan either, but
She's
I don't
terrible.
know.
Live
Maybe
who?
Naya. You don't think Naya's gonna take it?
No.
I mean, I can see them because they've been building Nia to feel like she's dominant again. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. But if they give it to Liv, that would piss me off because she had one of the greatest like cash-ins I ever seen in a night, and she just blew that whole title reign. I don't want to see her do anything after that. I don't want to see her do absolutely anything underneath the sun. I don't know. I'm more interested in seeing if they're going to like do any NXT like not call ups, but have them added into the Rumble just to see how they
Tiffany.
mix it up. Oh, Tiffany would be so fun. Tiffany would be fun. Jakara would be so fun. I think Lash Legend would be fun to see. I doubt they're gonna bring everyone. Nikita, I could see them bringing Nikita in just because of her look.
Mm-hmm.
Who else would they bring in that's been working down there? Roxanne or Cora J. One of the two has to come up.
Oh my God, they've been building Nia up to get eliminated by either Jade or Lash Legend. It'll be a perfect Rumble spot.
Oh yeah.
I like your brain.
And win Rumble, it will be the first time someone's debuted and won the Rumble.
I don't think she wins. So my plan was it that you debut her at the Rumble. You can put her in the match. You know, Nia Jax is going through people. You know what I'm saying? You bring Jade about 25. They're like, who's going to be able to stop Nia Jax? Jade comes out.
Boom. Yeah.
And then she can eliminate Nia. That'll blow up. People like, oh shit, she eliminated Nia by herself. It always take women to do this. But then Nia gets mad and, you know, distracts Jade, pulls her out, and then they start fighting. That way you don't have Jade in the Rumble and everybody's like, oh, she's ready to go to WrestleMania for the championship if they don't feel she's ready for that yet. So then her and Nia can start building and she can be on the road, you know, wrestling with Nia and Raquel and everything.
I love that idea. I love that so much,
I don't know who for the women, because have they built anybody up to make me think like this person's gonna run through the Rumble like that?
I don't know, Shotzi.
But they should be building Raquel because she has size, she's strong. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm about to kick Monique out.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I do not want
Shotzi's
Shotzi.
my girl though, but don't do that.
I love her, but she's also terrible.
Man, they haven't done her no justice. So.
Okay, so lastly, this is one thing because I have seen a lot of talk about it today. If I don't know if it will happen, if WWE sign with Warner Bros, what does that mean for AEW?
AEW going to Tubi because Warner Brothers just signed a deal with Tubi. No, Warner Brothers and DC Movies just signed a deal with Tubi to put the DC movies on the Tubi. AEW is going to put their library on the Tubi. Watch what it's about to get crazy. Watch.
But I read
and AEW will both be signed to WBD then?
Well, Warner Brothers and AEW haven't re-signed their contract together. Well, Warner Brothers hasn't signed it yet, so we're still up in the air of what's really going to happen. Are they? If they don't sign, do they still even get on TNT and TBS? So I don't.
I heard that they even have potential to move Monday Night Raw to another day and SmackDown from Friday, but I think that was like quoted from Dave.
So you see, we're gonna get Raw on Tuesday.
That makes no sense, does it?
I mean, I like
Monday Night Raw. What are we gonna start calling it?
I like it being Raw on Monday. You know,
SmackDown on Friday.
I like Tuesday Night SmackDown. I'm sorry.
I read that Warner Brothers might be getting sold to Legendary, right? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah.
So I don't think because they just did the deal, the whole TKO thing. So I don't think they're gonna do such a move like that yet. I don't know. I don't know. Again, who knows? Who the fuck knows? But
TKO, Endeavor, all of them. They got Impact. They
mm,
pay-per-view this past Saturday. Was the production value looked 100% better than anything else they put out this year. So
oh
Tuesday,
damn,
January 13th is about to get crazy. MLW and WWE settled their lawsuit, so now they're back cool again. Uh,
yeah.
Loki is a kept. NWA and WoW Women's Superhero Wrestling are on the CW app where NXT is going.
Hmm.
And Endeavor is they positioning people in places like it might be a crazy 2024 out here in these streets. I'm just saying. And plus, if TNA is now streaming on Endeavor,
Mm-hmm.
WWE is under Endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
They're all under the same stock market watch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
You don't want one company under the branch with you to be going down. So I can
exactly.
see the E like, hey, what y'all need? Send them over to the Impact right quick. Like
No way.
Kushida just signed,
That would be nuts.
Trent Seven just signed, Kushida just signed. I, I don't know, man. It could get spooky out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real. So, guys, thank you everyone for coming on and speaking about something that we all love so much, which is wrestling, because I love wrestling, and we love wrestling, and everyone here loves wrestling. Shout out to Monique, the co-host of Culture 316. Where can we find you, girl?
Well, you can find us on our page, Culture 316. You can find me on Instagram. That's _just_Neek _. Very annoying, by the way. Also
Yeah.
got right here. Dead ass. I know. I have to change my shit like 11,000 times.
Wow.
Look at Trey's face, bro. Anyways, you can also find me on Twitter. That's where I'm mainly at. That's just Neek. Less complicated. Just find me right there. And on YouTube, Culture 316. Check it out. Thank you so much.
Awesome. OCL, where can we find you?
Oh, Instagram, Twitter, everything is at Osama Karamat. So that's like Karamat, or just search OCL and then all the links pop up. But yeah, or find me under Spotify's most played CM Punk theme ever since he got back.
Fucking hilarious.
No way.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I make sure as soon as I enter the gym, I play it. I'm like, no.
On 24 hours a day.
Bro.
She loves him. She loves Punk. She
Not
she
I.
needs a Monique.
Not
Monique
I.
needs a
We
CM
need
Punk,
to
CM
get
Punk
her
ice cream bar.
t-shirt.
Hell
Yeah.
no. Hell no.
We
I'm blocking
do.
him. After this
I-
blocking.
The new one, Hope
Monique needs a CM Punk ice cream bar. I'm
Hell
saying.
no. I'm burning it.
People, I didn't. So people are keeping those. I know, like one radio host, like, does it not go still? Like people have got them and they plan to keep them forever, and it's just really weird.
I don't know if it's a thing.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, thank you guys,
Thank you for
everyone,
having us. Yeah.
for listening to this. I hope you enjoyed listening to us have a little chit chat about pro wrestling. We're all very excited to see what is going to happen in the future of pro wrestling in every single company. You know, I love wrestling, and I know we talk about WWE predominantly, but I do keep an eye out on everything that's going on. And shout out to everyone on the indies. We love you and we see you.
I don't know about everybody.
Yeah.
Let me put this at the end, though. The end of the year, a whole bunch of indie stars coming through, a whole bunch of wrestling stars. We LUV Wrestling. Get on the Patreon, because they didn't approve our interviews with some people that you see on TV. It will be on the Patreon, so you can see them there. Brian Danielson goes live as of December the 20th So
Awesome.
$8, you can see our interesting conversation. Look out for more from Sophia. Catch me on Wednesdays on TikTok with Lovely, Controlled Chaos, Trey Blue. On Thursdays, live streaming 7 p.m. Giveaway coming out. And yeah.
What are we giving away? Tell us.
So right now, the first I announced one thing every Thursday. The first thing is the Fiend Funko Pop.
No way.
It's going into the giveaway. It don't matter how many I got, but we're going to put that into the giveaway. We got some signed 8x10s. We got another signed figure from a top star that'll be going in there, and they get a choice of something either off of Pro Wrestling Tees or WWE.com. And it's one other thing, but that person who wins will pick, and we'll make it happen. So you guys stay tuned on Thursdays to hear what it is.
I'm gonna enter for the Funko Pop.
Yeah, me too. I'm entering too.
Maybe we do 2 giveaways and put both of these in here. So we got 2 of them that's up for grabs.
Is that a mystery one? Can we know what's in there?
That was another Fiend one.
Okay, awesome.
And this might get announced tonight, so we'll find out.
Wow, yeah.
Nice.
I got over 150 Funko Pops, and each one has duplicates. One signed, one's not signed. So the ones that are not signed, I'm about to start giving them away. So
nice.
Look out for the giveaway. We LUV Wrestling on all your social media, man. And shout out to y'all on YouTube for getting us to 75K, man.
Yeah.
Man. All right, let's get out of here because I gotta go back to work.
Thanks for having us, y'all.
No, thank you.
Say the tagline, Sophie.
Because wait, I just want to say, I know I totally forgot. It just came to mind because I said, yeah, LA Knight should win Royal Rumble. LA Knight should win Royal Rumble. LA Knight should win Royal Rumble.
We totally forgot about LA. Yeah.
She's wilding. LA Knight is not.
I love wrestling. You love wrestling. We love wrestling. Shout out to everyone at home. We love you. Mwah.
Dirty.